Hi, this is the movie to help you with Word Chapter 2, Pause and Practice 2, 4. Right? So we're on 2-4. This is the second movie. We're beginning in step 5. So on the left I have the file, the instructions, and on the right I have the actual file that I'm working on. So we left off with putting a border and shading around this indented profile paragraph. And so now we want to add a bottom border to the header. So we're going to move to page 2 where we can actually see the header. And it has a select header. I'm telling you, just double click. You're in the header. It saves you so much time. So we want to put our cursor on the first line somewhere. We are then going to add a bottom border. So we need to go home. Whoops. Just undid something. We're going to go home and we're going to pick this border, do the down arrow, and we're going to go to borders. And we're going to do bottom border right there. A 1-point red border displays because the last thing we did was this border here, so it brings those characteristics forward. If you don't have that, because maybe you had done some other things, you just need to go in and edit that border and make it a 1-point red. We're done with the header and footer, so I just want you to double click on the body of the document. So the next thing we're going to do is put a hyperlink to an email address. So if we go up to the first page, so Control Home, here's Rochelle's email. So we want to select this. And then we can either go into Insert, Link, or the key combination is a Control K. I'm going to do it this way. Link, oops, click on Link. It's going to take a second here because it's the first time I've done it since I opened. All right, so one of the things you want to look at on this Insert Hyperlink is there are 4 different kinds of links that you can insert. The first one is you are inserting something from a page or a web page, so from an external source. And that could be either another document, another Word document, or it could be a web page. You can link to another location in the document. So if you envision that you have like a table of contents, each of those chapters could be links. If a person clicks on it, they would go to that chapter in the document, right? Creating a new document is just what it says. If you click on it, it opens up a new document. And then the last is the email address, which is what we want to do at this point. So we're going to pick an email. It changes the screen to represent what you need to complete for an email. So the text that we're going to display is RochelleW@outlook.com. And then in the email, we're going to repeat that. And notice when I start typing, it puts the mail to colon in front of it. That is required because this is what's used to actually send it, right? So that mail to is the required word to do that. We could put a subject if we want. We don't need to. We do want to use a screen tip. So a screen tip would be if a person in the document puts their cursor over that, it would pop up some kind of helpful information. In this case, we're just going to repeat and say email Rochelle. We're going to do OK on that. And then we're going to select OK. Notice that Rochelle's is now an email right? And if I put my cursor on it, you can see right there it says email Rochelle, control click. So if I did a control click, it would switch me over to an email system and it would allow me to send her an email. All right, so now we want to move to the very bottom page, and in the references section, not the education section, we want to find where it says California State Chico. We're going to select that text and we're going to put a link back in there. So link, but this time we want to go to an existing web page. So once this screen comes up, we want to make sure over here that we're selecting the right link to. So we're going to do an existing file or web page. Notice in this case, because I already had this selected, it has California State Chico already selected. And so now what we want to do is in the address line here, we're going to type www.csUchico.edu. So when this will become a link that will send me to that website. But we're not done yet, so don't hit OK. So we're going to do a screen tip for this. So if I click screen tip, it's going to say CSU Chico website. That's going to be my little tool tip. And then we want to target the frame so that it opens in a new window. So we're going to click on target frame, and we're going to use the drop down and pick new window. And I want to click this set default, so no matter, like I only have to do this once where I say open this web page in a new window, because we want to keep the references page open. I mean the this document open and go to the web page in a separate tab. So we're going to do that as a default. We're going to click OK. We're going to click OK. And then this is going to become a link. Notice the CSU Chico website and then the control click. So I'm going to try it, control click, and hopefully it opens in a new, it does, in a new, and there I am, California State at Chico. All right, notice now I no longer have the green, but it's changed colors, and that's a function of web links. You know, it changes not visited, hovered, selected, visited. You know, those all have distinct colors, and so that just tells me that I visited it. It's not a problem to submit it that way. All right, so then we want to do hyperlinks to these guys' emails, but let me show you this. Right here, I'm going to click after the edu, and I'm just going to hit the space bar. Look at what automatically happens. It automatically understands this structure and makes it a web page. I mean a hyperlink to an email address. Same thing over here with Diana. I'm just going to hit the space bar at the end and it converts it to a hyperlink. Super cool. All right, so I'm going to take a second to save this. And I want to share with you that this step number 9 is not required. If you have 2019 or if you have some older 365s, you're not going to have this. So we're just going to put a big X through that number 9, use the resume assistant. Now if you have it and want to play with it, that's fine. It is not required. We're just going to do a save and my document's done. So what I need to do is go back to Blackboard and submit this. So I'm sorry, not to Blackboard, to SimNet. Let me show you how to do that. So I'm in my Sim book here. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to exit. Oh, I was signed out too long. Let me exit. Assignments, find the chapter you were working on, This is the pause and practice. We're going to that was the start file. Upload. I'm going to find my document. I am ready to submit it, so I say yes. And there is the submission. Your instructor will then have the ability to grade that for you. All right, thank you very much.